Anyways, what came through my news feed really, it was about a mother who miscarried. And, whenever I read that about that, it breaks my heart to see somebody, miscarry a child. But the story was of a lady, she lived in Europe, and she actually miscarried a child after putting on 42 pounds. And it was from a misdiagnosed thyroid condition missed by her GP. And a few of the things, her name is Sunny. She ran a fitness boot camp, and in 8 months' time, she put on 42 pounds. So if any of you that are watching this that are frustrated with weight gain and have no explanation for it, you deserve some answers, number one. Number two, the most common reason for weight gain is due to fluid retention or hormone dysregulation, and that can include the thyroid. So for this lady, Sunny is her name, she begged doctors over 2 years to help her, and they really weren't listening, because what I'm about to share with you, she was suffering from insomnia, sleep issues. She hurt all over the place, had muscle aches and pains, joint aches, and was just tired. She was wiped out. And that's probably one of the most common symptoms of thyroid problems is tired all the time, fatigue, beyond just, hey, I don't feel like doing much. It literally wipes you out. I've had a lot of women suggest to me that, they would rather have broken their arm because people can look at them and see that they have a problem. Versus, it's almost like a silent diagnosis that, a lot of people looking at you, you look fine. So that's one of the frustrations, again, with a lot of women that have thyroid problems. Now, with this lady I'm talking about, Sunny, her GP actually told her, and this is in quotes, and I'm reading it right here on my screen in front of me, no fat people came out of the concentration camps. So, right away, her doctor's not even listening to her, pretty much dismaying everything that she's saying. And I'm sure a lot of you have been told that, something similar, where you're asking questions and doctors don't like that. And it's unfortunate because you deserve answers, number one. And, maybe it's past the 10-minute allotment that they give you, which is another, ridiculous thing that we have to deal with within the insurance model, which is one of the reasons I opted out of that several years ago, to treat people with respect and give them the time that they need to get the care and help that they need. So Sunny actually, again, had a miscarriage because she was not, her thyroid problem wasn't addressed. A simple test could have told her that. And she was eventually diagnosed with Graves, which is an autoimmune condition. And I get a lot of emails from people saying, well, you talked about hypothyroidism, you talked about Hashimoto's, but you never talk about Graves. Well, pay attention because I'll talk a little bit about Graves. Number one, it has a common thread, Graves does, just like Hashimoto's thyroid. They're both autoimmune conditions. So what does that really mean, autoimmune? It means that your immune system is attacking normal, healthy thyroid tissue in this case. And there's several, there's hundreds and thousands of different autoimmune conditions. And more research is coming out showing even more diseases being tied to autoimmune. In fact, most people are familiar with diabetes, cancer, lupus, Sjogren's, rheumatoid arthritis. Those are some of the common ones. So, Julie, thanks for writing in. You have Graves. That's what we're talking about right now. So, Graves, think of this as a two-pronged problem. Number one, it's a thyroid problem, obviously, right? But secondarily, and this is the point that's often missed, is that it's an immune issue. And if you don't ever address the immune issue, the symptoms will continue to persist. And what does that mean? Well, okay, you're going to continue to go to your primary doctor. They're going to send you to the endocrinologist. You get more blood work, and you get bounced back and forth, and eventually end up what I call the medical merry-go-round. It's a state of frustration where you go round and round and round with no answers. And again, you deserve answers. So know that it's an autoimmune condition. That does not mean that you can't do anything about it. And I'm not sitting here and saying that there's a cure and I have it and, nobody else does. Not at all. But think of any autoimmune condition as a dimmer switch. When you're being expressed as far as symptom-wise, it can be caused from food problems. It can be caused from environmental toxins and things like that. Think of that dimmer switch being on high. Now, what you can do is you can manage a lot of the symptoms and bring that dimmer switch down. But you have to realize there's a genetic component of that. So anybody that tells you that, yeah, I can cure your Hashimoto's, I can cure your Graves' disease, run fast and, go seek some other answers, because that's farthest from the truth. And, I will never tell you that. So with Graves, you have to address the triggers to it. The most common triggers that I see in conditions, autoimmune conditions, Graves, Hashimoto's included, are food sensitivities and past exposure to chemicals, toxins, past infections. This does not have to be from things that just happened in the past, like a year ago, 6 months ago. This can be from 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And a lot of people don't put the two and two together because it happened so long ago. And so I don't blame you for that. Who would put them together? So food sensitivities, how do you address that? You don't want to guess at that. There's tests that you can run, and there's some technology that I developed several years back called the DNA U-print, which helps you get to the root cause of the problem rather than just addressing symptoms and driving yourself crazy trying to address them all. Because it's just a Band-Aid approach. And if that's what you're looking for, that's great, but I can tell you from a lot of the women that I speak with, they don't know what else to do. And it becomes frustrating because a lot of you that I speak with over the telephone from all over the country, you're doing some great things on your own. You're working out, you're watching what you eat, and yet you still don't feel any different. And I totally understand, where you feel, how you feel, I should say. Kelly, I'm going to read your question here. Once your thyroid's removed, do you still have Hashimoto's? Wow, that's a great question. Let me address that and restate that one more time. So Kelly asks, once your thyroid is removed, do you still have Hashimoto? The answer is yes, but a lot of people are misled and are told, I won't say by who, but are told by other people that this isn't the case. So when your thyroid is removed, the number one cause for that is due to nodules or potentially cancer. And obviously you don't want to mess around with that. See your doctor, your endocrinologist to diagnose that. Get an ultrasound and whatever you need to get done. However, most common cause is due to nodules and removing that thyroid. It's kind of like gristle on a piece of meat. It's there, but it's not really serving much purpose. So they say, oh, let's just remove the thyroid and all your worries will be gone. You won't have to do anything. Your doctor will just put you on hormone replacement for the rest of your life, and you'll be good. All your symptoms will become better. That's one of the biggest lies. And I'm here to tell you that because I see it and I witness this daily just from women telling me the story. I don't have to make this stuff up. So when the thyroid's removed, again, think of this as a two-pronged problem. We were addressing this with Graves as well, because you can address the thyroid, but if you don't ever address the immune issue, which is the reason why most people have their thyroid removed, nodules, you only fixed half the problem. So doesn't it make sense that, yeah, if you don't address it, it's still going to be there? And at that point, you still have symptoms: tiredness, fatigue, hair loss, skin issues, lack of libido. I mean, the list goes on and on. And guess what happens? Now your doctor may start to throw some other medications your way because they don't know what to do. And this isn't a mock at, at other doctors by any means, but I'm saying on blood work, you look fine. But you don't feel fine. And again, you have to address both of those problems, the two-prong issue, the immune system plus the thyroid issue. So hopefully that answers your question, Kelly. For any of you that are listening that may even have had cancer of the thyroid and things like that, because that's autoimmune as well, check out my book. Actually, Kelly, I see that you just posted here, you had cancer, 2 rounds of radiation. So, okay, this something pertains just to you and other people, hopefully, that are listening to this. I wrote a book called Living Well After Cancer. You can find it right on Amazon. It's out there. But with cancer, again, it's an autoimmune condition. And I'm not saying I cure cancer by any means or anything like that, but you have to address the triggers. And some of the things, even after you've been through radiation or if you've been through chemotherapy and things like that, you have to, it takes an effect on your body, your liver, your kidneys, lymphatic system, your immune system becomes compromised. You can't just ignore it. You have to find out, number one, what areas for you aren't working like they should. And so that's one of the benefits of the DNA U-print technology that I created, again, several years back. It allows us to find that out and discover that for you. It's a customized approach to healthcare. And that's one of the biggest reasons why we get such good results with women from all around the country, is that it's customized. This isn't a product that we just sell and try to, sell as many as we can and make a profit. I always want to create a relationship with my patients, because long term, that's going to benefit everybody. To have you understand why you have your problem versus just being told what to do from more of an authoritarian, listen to me. And, that was okay back in the 80s, the 90s, but, things are changing now. The power is going more back into the people's hands, as it should. And you become better educated because of the internet. There's some great things out there on the internet. Likewise, there's some, not so good stuff. But, get some education. So I want to leave you today, because I want to go eat with my kids and my family, my wife. If you're looking for more, I can only share a little bit, obviously, on here. And I'll try to do this a little bit more often as I just have some different thoughts and different things that I read and stay up on research and things like that. Feel free to join the webinar that I host. There's a link, should be a link right above the video, and go ahead and click on it. It's free. It probably will last roughly about an hour or so. And again, if you thought this was interesting and you want a little bit more information, go ahead and click on it. I'd love to have you on the call. You can ask questions. However, we're usually very full. There's 100 people that are allowed on the line with the service that we use. Feel free to post the questions. In fact, that's one of the things I'll be using to do some more Facebook Live here. It's fun. It's exciting. I love sharing with people and getting you the information that you need. So have a really good evening. Chantel, let's read your question. I don't want to forget about you. I have Graves and eat good, but keep putting on weight. What do you do? Okay. So when you say eat good, that could mean several different things for a lot of people. Are you eating cleanly, meaning you're like gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free? Everybody's different. What I may suggest based upon testing for one person may be totally different for another person. It's not across the board. We don't do a cookie-cutter approach here at our office because that gets so-so results. And personally, I don't want so-so results. I want phenomenal results for each and every one of you that decides to work with our office. So weight gain, I'll hit on a little bit, but this is a whole other topic, is typically due to a couple things. Hormone regulation. Fluid retention is probably one of the biggest ones that's missed, because I see women and speak with women that are working out 4, 5, 6 days a week and still cannot lose weight. And it's unfortunate because the drive is there to do something. So fluid retention can be caused from food sensitivities. It can be caused from a chronic response within the body, even to environmental toxins and things like that we need to be identified so you can get the results that you need and that you desire as well. So my whole point in telling you all this is that it's usually a multifaceted approach. It's not one thing. Like you're told, you can go on Facebook, you could go on TV and, take this pill and lose 30 pounds in 10 days. And all these, ridiculous claims out there. It'd be great if it was that easy, but it's not.